Hello students. In the last class I have discussed with the introduction of root locus and rules of construction of root locus as well as one numerical. So today we'll start with the new numerical of root locus technique. So problem statement goes in this way. Sketch the rough nature of root locus of a certain control system whose characteristic equation is given as SQ plus 9S square plus KS plus K is equal to 0 and comment on the stability of a system. So this is what the given information to solve numerical on root locus, right? So they are given characteristic equation of the root locus as SQ plus 9S square plus KS plus K is equal to 0. So rewrite this equation as SQ plus 9S square plus S plus 1 K common term is equal to 0. So I'll divide throughout by SQ plus 9S square. So if I divide here SQ plus 9S square, so that will become what? 1 plus K S1 plus whole divided by SQ plus 9S square will get is equal to 0, right? So even we can rewrite this equation as 1 plus k s1 s plus 1 whole divided by s square s plus 9 is equal to 0, which is of the form standard 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0, which is of the standard form. So now we need to identify poles and zeros in this given transfer function. So step number 1 is that a number of poles, that is P, is equal to 3. Here in the denominator term we have S terms as here S square, means two poles are located at S equal to 0. So one more pole is located at S equal to minus 9. So therefore totally we have here 3 poles. So therefore P is equal to what? 3. So then location of those poles are at 0 and 0 and minus 9. So these value we got it from what? These factors. We should equate this factor to what? 0. If I equate this s square to 0, so you'll get s equal to 0 as well as one more root s equal to 0. Similarly, if I equate this s plus 9 to 0, so that results in what? S equal to minus 9. So these are three are the poles location, that is 0, 0 and minus 9. Now look into how many zeros are there in the given transfer function. So that is number of zeros equal to z equal to 1. Why? Because in the numerator part we have only one term, so that is must be equal to or equated to what? 0. So that is s plus 1 is equal to 0. So that results in what? S equal to minus 1. This is the location of 0 in the given transfer function, right? Next, so what are the starting point and end point of the root locus that we need to see? So in the introduction class of root locus I have told, root locus is starting from what? Open loop poles and terminate at open loop zeros. Here open loop poles are located at 0, 0 and minus 9, and it ends at open loop zeros. Here we have only one zero, so that is minus 1. Two more zeros are located at infinity. Means our root locus will starts from what? These 3 points and ends at these points minus 1, infinity and infinity. In this traverse, here the k value here at this point open loop poles, k value will be 0. When the root locus it reaches these points, k value will become what? Infinite, means it's a large value. Now step 2, locating RL and NRL region. How to find RL and NRL regions, right? Draw the graph like real axis and imaginary axis, that is j omega axis. We know here two poles are located at origin, so that I am showing with the cross lines at 0, right? One more pole is at located at minus 9 roughly, so it is at minus 9. So one zero is located at minus 1, that I have shown with the 0 location, right? So this is the minus 1. Now I told in the introductory class how to find RL and NRL regions, right? See, you stand on this branch, see right hand side, how many poles and zeros are present, you just check it out. Here, if I see right hand side, by standing on this branch, say -1 to 0, here I am observing here two poles, means 2 is an even number. If that total sum of poles and zeros are even, then that particular branch will be what? Non-root locus region. So NRL means non-root locus region. So then if I stand on this branch, see right hand side, how many poles and zeros are there? Here is a one pole, sorry, here is a 1 0, here is the two poles, total sum is how much? 3. So 3 is an odd, therefore this branch will be what? RL, means it is a root locus region, right? Similarly, you stand on this branch, see right hand side, how many poles and zeros are there? Here is a one pole, here is a 1 0, here is a two poles, total how many? 4, total 4 is the count. So 4 is an even, therefore this region is what? NRL region, non root locus region. This is how we need to find RL and NRL regions for the given poles and zeros combinations, right? Next, one more thing is that number of branches in the root locus is given as whichever is greater among P or Z. So in this numerical, P is 3, number of poles is 3, number of zeros is 1. So P is greater than Z here. So therefore number of branches in this root locus will be what? 3, right? Whichever is greater, so that will be the number of what? Branches. Move on to the next point, step number 3. So asymptotes, right? Number of asymptotes is given as P minus Z. P is 3, Z is 1, which is equal to 2. P minus Z will be what? 2. So there are two asymptotes, right? Further, we need to find asymptotic angle also. What are these asymptotic angles? Phi A, which is given as 2q plus 1 into 180 degree whole divided by P minus Z, right? Where q is varying from 0, 1 to up to P minus Z minus 1. What is the value of this one? P minus Z minus 1. So 3 minus 1 minus 1. That results in 1. So therefore q is varying from 0 to what? 1. Right? If I substitute q as 0 in the above equation, so I'll get 90 degree as the theta 1. Means this is the asymptotic angle 1. Right? Similarly, if I substitute q equal to 1, q equal to 1 here, so I'll get 270 degree. This will be the second asymptotic angle, that is theta, right? So next point is that centroid. How to find the centroid? So this is very, very important, right? See, we have the formula for that, sigma. Sigma is equal to summation of real parts of poles minus summation of real parts of zeros whole divided by P minus Z, right? See here, in this poles, what is the real part of this one here? Whatever the values are here, those are the real parts. The term comes into picture only when we have the complex poles and zeros, right? So in that case, we need to collect only the real part. Similarly here, so we are considering only real part, so that is 0 plus 0 minus 9 minus real part of 0 is what? Minus 1 is that, right? So substitute back all these values. So you'll get what? So minus 4 is an centroid, right? So this is what the centroid value, right? Next, we need to plot a rough diagram how exactly centroid and asymptotes are looks like. So this is the real axis and this is the imaginary axis. Here I am showing two poles here at 0 and one more 0 is here at minus 1 and one more pole is at minus 9. So I am showing here is the what centroid. So denoted with a sigma, the value -4, right? So this is centroid. At this point, we have the asymptotic angle. First one as 90 degree. So that is the AS1, asymptote 1. its angle is theta 1 90 degree. So here is the AS2 asymptote 2 and its angle is theta 2, it's a 270 degree as we have calculated here, 90 degree and 270 degree. Here is the centroid minus 4, right? This is what the rough diagram for intermediate diagram. This is not the final root locus, right? Next point is that breakaway point. It is also called as BAP. So we have the characteristic equation, that is s cube plus 9s square plus ks plus k is equal to 0. So to find the breakaway points, so we should do the operation of this one, dk by ds must be equated to 0. So from this equation we eliminate for k, so you'll get as a minus s cube minus 9s square whole divided by s plus 1, right? So if I differentiate this one, u by v rules. So s plus 1 denominator as it, differentiation of numerator minus 3s square minus 18s minus numerator as it is minus s cube minus 9s square into differentiation of denominator, that is 1 whole divided by denominator whole square must be equated to what? 0. Upon simplifying, so you'll get the term like s 2s square plus 12s plus 8 is equal to 0, right? So this is what the terms what we are getting, right? So if I equated these to 0, so one term what I get is what? 0. Then the roots of this equation can be easily found using Schroeder's formula. So that is minus 12, that is minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. A value is here, right? So upon substituting the values, you'll get minus 3 and minus 3 are the answer. Total we have the 3 roots. So that is 0, minus 3 and minus 3. Among these, which one is a valid BAP? That we must see, right? So that is very, very important. So among these, which one is a valid BAP? We should check which root falls in the RL region. So minus 3, we'll see that. Will it falls in RL region? Yes, minus 3 is lies between see minus 1 and minus 9, which is RL. So therefore 0 and minus 3 and minus 3, among these this minus 3 is an valid breakaway point, right? Next, step number 6, intersection with the imaginary axis. Using RH criteria, we have the characteristic equation. So write the s cube through 1k, s square 9k. So using RH tabulation, s through will be 8k by 9, 0 and k. So we need to find k marginal value as well as intersection of imaginary axis. We should equate these first column values to 0. 8k by 9 equal to 0, k must be equal to 0. So k cannot be 0 at the intermediate stage. So k will be 0 only when at a starting point of the root locus, and it will be infinite at the end. But in intermediate it cannot be 0, so this is an invalid. So it says that this root locus will not cross j omega axis, means it will not touch even imaginary axis. This is what the conclusion. So further, so completely how you can plot the graph or root locus, that is very important. See, I'll explain in detail how exactly it works. See, draw the real part as well as the imaginary part of the graph. Locate the poles here. Two poles are at 0 and 1 0 at minus 1 and one more pole at minus 9. So this is the RL region, means minus 9 to minus 1. So locate the centroid here, it is a 4, centroid sigma. Then valid breakaway point, it's a minus 3, again it is in RL region, right? Now, uh, as said, root locus always starts from open loop poles here. There are 3 poles here, 2 poles here, here's a one more pole, total 3 poles are there. This pole has got a 0 here itself in the real axis. So it will move along in this way. So it will reach what? This 0 to, since it is RL region, right? So what about these 2 poles? These 2 poles will meet the 0 corresponding zeros at infinity. What I explained earlier, right? See, these are the starting points, these are the end points, right? Similarly, so these poles will try to get the zeros at infinity, means they will not traverse in this way. Why? Because this is NRL region, right? So they will come, go like this, and it will they will meet at breakaway point. Similarly, this one more pole will come in this way, that will meet at breakaway point. And after this one, they will cross like this and follow this asymptote. This is asymptote one. Follow this asymptote and it will reach at infinity. There it will get to a particular zero. Similarly, this pole will cross like this at BAP and it will cross that BAP point and it will cross. So up to what? Infinity. There it will get what? Zero at that infinity. This is how the root locus traces. One more thing is that the k value at the starting point of the pole, here will be k equal to 0, right? So here the k value will be what? Infinity at the end point. Okay. So rest of the things we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, we'll stop it.